Hi guys, it's Debbie again with another version of Viva Divine blog on YouTube, the V blog. You can read a lot of this wonderful experience of mine on vivadivine.blogspot.com. You can also follow me on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and Pinterest, and Tumblr. I'm everywhere. Okay, so the last video, or my first video that I shared with you guys, I talked about a little bit of my experience. And I said that what I would love to do is come back and talk to you a little bit more about exactly what a spiritual awakening is, or trying to find it. Well, you can go on the internet yourself. Yeah, and you can actually look up what a spiritual awakening is. But there's so many different definitions because it affects people differently. But one of the main definitions of a spiritual awakening, it comes from Buddhism, and it basically simply is an awakening of the consciousness. And so if you were to look at that, it would mean to you, you were unconscious and you became conscious. It's kind of like you were asleep and then you wake up and you realize that you were asleep and everything is new to you. Now in my case, because it's different for everyone, the way I describe it is as if my awakening felt like living a dormant life and my spirit woke up one day and realized there's got to be something more. It's just your spirit has been weighed down by so much life and it doesn't feel right, and you just say, there's got to be something bigger. And then you realize there's something bigger. Jim Carrey, the comedian, there's a video on my channel where he talks about his awakening, and it was like, there is something bigger than me. And that's what it feels like. But that's when you're awakened. The awakening process is a lot different. There's a lot of things that happen, and I kind of wanted to talk about some of the symptoms. There are tons of symptoms. You can keep reading forever. There's so many. If you read all the symptoms, you'd be exhausted, and you'd probably think you're having a mental breakdown, because it kind of feels that way in some sense. But there were certain symptoms that happened to me that were very, very straightforward, and I'm going to share some of those with you. I wrote about this on my blog on a post called I Saw the Signs. In retrospect, I see them now. So one of the first signs, and I'm just going to go to the blog and kind of skim from this. One of the first signs that I was aware of, events that completely alter your life. Interesting. Death, divorce, changes in job status, loss of home, illness, and or other catastrophes, and sometimes several at once. Sounds familiar? It sounds like my life, right? Yes, left the job, the religion, and the marriage all at the same time. And it just seems like there are forces that are involved in creating this shifting, and you have no idea what's going on. All you have to do is navigate through it by getting up, going to work, coming home, taking care of your family, going to sleep. That's it. Because it's all happening at one time. It's very overwhelming, but the interesting thing is, you don't crack. You don't crack. Okay, so another symptom, this one was really hard for me, changes in your sleep pattern. Now, bear in mind that I had a job where I had to be at work at 6:30 in the morning and work 10 hours and come home tired, fall asleep exhausted in bed around 7:38 and wake up at 1 or 2 in the morning and couldn't go back to sleep. Every day. For months, constantly. And somehow I'd get up and go to work and function, but it was this irritating thing not to be able to stay asleep. Usually what's happening is that your body is shifting and purging. So at night, it's doing that in your sleep and you wake up so you can get a break. But sometimes you just don't go back to sleep, and it's really frustrating. So that's one of the things that I experienced, and I will tell you this. They do get better, because now I go to sleep at night without any kind of Ambien, anything like that, any kind of Unisom, and I sleep like a baby. So a lot of these symptoms, once you awaken, you will get past them. Okay, let's see. Let's look at another one. Vivid dreams. Okay. I've always been a dreamer. I've always had really interesting dreams. However, the dreaming that occurred during the spiritual awakening tended to cause me to wake up and wonder, is it live or is it Memorex? Did I really leave my house or did I dream I left the house? They were very vivid, very loud. I would have dreams where I could hear music, beautiful music being played, and I could hear the conversations of people all around me, as if I lived in a tenement and the tenement was open in the front and there were families and people in these rooms and I could hear every single conversation. A lot of these dreams, because you have to understand what a spiritual awakening also is your vibration is a lot different. It's getting higher. And so you're assessing higher vibration. It's pushing out all the negative energy in your body. And a lot of that happens when you're dreaming. So you're going to have dreams of people, maybe from the past. You're going to dream you're flying. That was interesting. You're going to dream that people visit you. You're going to dream that you've met beings that aren't human, and you're not going to be afraid. The dreams are really vivid. Okay, so just remember that. Awakening. You get what you asked for. Now, another thing that I had that was also really frustrating was this odd thing in my head. It was like a constant creepy crawly on the right side of my head in my brain. It was constant. It felt like somebody was like crawling in my head, or my scalp was crawling. I also had a lot of migraines. Like, I never had migraines before, and they were really painful from the back of my head to the front. Very, very painful. A lot of times, from what I've read, this happens because the right side of your brain is becoming more active and the left side is shutting off. Your left side is your logical brain. Your right side is your intuitive side and your creative side. So during the time that this was happening to my right side of my brain, I became very aware of a lot of things. A lot of things. My intuition doubled. It was really scary. I started to finish people's sentences. It really was. And it continues to this day. And I became uber creative, and I'm still creative even more. But I am aware now that my left side is getting engaged again. When you become spiritually awake, you're going to notice the changes. One of the changes that I really like, I'm not going to tell you how old I am, but I'm going to tell you that at my age, I'm a size 4 without any effort. Your body changes. Your skin changes. It's like as if you got an upgrade to the old you. That's what it is. There are a lot of different symptoms, and maybe next time what I'll do, we'll talk some more about that, because I think a lot of people are going through a lot of these changes. There's a lot of I keep making that weird word and mess it up, don't I? There's a lot of metaphysical changes that are going to happen to your spirit, and it's going to make you think and question your sanity. And some of those things I would like to talk about to you next time. So in the meantime, you can go visit the blog at vivadivine.blogspot.com. You can check me out on Twitter. I'm a tweeter in a big way. Very positive stuff that I like to put out there. And I'm also on Instagram, Pinterest, and a whole bunch of other places. You'll find me. Just Google Viva Divine. I'm everywhere. So until next time, you guys, have a great afternoon, and I will see you soon. Bye.